A whisper in the dark became a question the universe couldn't ignore. It didn't explode onto the scene or announce itself with fanfare. This story started with a tiny, almost imperceptible flicker, a subtle motion across a field of stars that nearly slipped past every instrument watching the sky. At first glance it looked familiar, maybe a comet, maybe a stray asteroid. But the more we tracked it, the more it refused to behave like anything we'd catalogued before. This visitor, what scientists now call 3 Atlas, moved with an unnerving precision, and thanks to the James Webb Space Telescope we've peeled back a few of its secrets. What we found is not just surprising, it forces us to ask whether we are witnessing a machine, a mind, or something else entirely. Interstellar objects normally barrel through our system on chaotic, one-off paths. They flash by, unpredictable and indifferent. 3 Atlas did none of those things. It coasted. Its route wasn't a random tumble, it threaded our planetary neighborhood like a craft that had rehearsed the choreography long before it arrived. By hitching gentle gravitational assists from multiple bodies, it conserved energy in ways a natural rock simply wouldn't. When astronomers reversed its motion, the math screamed, without purposeful intervention, this path was astronomically unlikely. Imagine a chess piece navigating a minefield with uncanny foresight. Nothing about 3 Atlas looked accidental. With Webb trained on it, the object revealed stranger details. Its thermal output didn't flicker like an icy comet's, it pulsed with steady, repeating cycles, ordered, rhythmic, almost communicative. Spectroscopic scans uncovered materials that don't show up in typical interstellar debris, superreflective surfaces, dense structured layers, and hollowed segments that hinted at internal architecture. Buried in the data was an even more unnerving trace, an ultra-low electromagnetic ping repeating every 147 seconds, an echo eerily similar to pulsar patterns, yet with no natural engine to explain it. Was it a mimicry, a beacon, or a basic handshake from something aware? If the signal rang a bell, it was because a faint version had once been detected around another odd visitor, Oumuamua, years earlier. That object had passed like a whisper, cigar-shaped, tumbling, and inexplicably accelerated, leaving debate and no closure. With 3 Atlas now in our sights, patterns began to line up. Where Oumuamua seemed passive, an aerial scout, 3 Atlas behaves like an active presence. Some researchers started to shift from the idea of simple curiosity to the darker possibility of interaction. The first was reconnaissance, this one is engagement. Independent teams of data scientists and cryptographers dove into the pulse patterns and returned with remarkable results. The sequences weren't random noise. They followed mathematical constructs, the golden ratio, Fibonacci progressions, prime number sequences, fundamental numeric rules that appear across biology, physics, and human design. More unnerving, the pulses adjusted in response to environmental factors, solar activity, how close it passed planets, and yes, even our own transmissions. At one moment the pattern shifted right when Webb first locked onto the object. It wasn't just detectable, it was reactive. Whether that reaction was curiosity, calculation, or communication remains the central question. Webb spectroscopy also found complex carbon compounds, PARs and other precursors to life, arranged with a purity not seen in chaotic cometary chemistry. These were not random assortments, they looked refined, ordered, possibly manufactured or grown. The implications are chilling. Could 3 Atlas be a carrier for life, biological seeds designed to implant, propagate, or graft their chemistry onto compatible worlds? If so, Earth might be more than a waypoint, it could be a deliberate objective. Then the object did something harder to explain away. On a night when long-range telescopes watched, 3 Atlas altered its course by a hair, veering toward Earth's orbital plane in a way gravity and known forces couldn't justify. To some observers this was a glitch. But mission analysts concluded the maneuver displayed intent, smooth, precise, and timed as though in response to an external stimulus. If trajectory equals decision, then this object makes choices. When a covert probe attempted a close approach, the feed cut out 1.3 million kilometers away. Its last frame showed what looked like an invisible field, an energy lattice that reflected the probe back like a mirror and rendered sensors useless. The probe didn't collide with a solid object, it encountered a reactive shield. The last data hinted at the most chilling possibility: the object could detect, analyze, and physically counteract intrusions. This wasn't a passive relic, it had defenses, and it used them. As scientists compared timelines, correlations began to pile up. During a particular angular change in 3 Atlas's orbit, classified monitoring systems detected a focus microwave burst above Antarctica. Not long after, seismic arrays reported ultra-low frequency vibrations, and magnetosphere monitors registered tiny anomalies. Wildlife navigational systems, birds, whales, migratory insects, shifted behavior in lockstep with the object's pulse timing. The planet itself seemed to respond, as if an ancient memory in rock, magnetics, or biosystems had been reawakened by a precise external rhythm. A junior analyst overlaid the object's path on ancient star charts and found more than coincidence. The trajectory intersected sacred constellations and, when mapped over time, traced spirals mirrored in cave art across continents. Whether symbolic or coincidental, the match suggested a message coded not just in mathematics but in cultural memory.